However, there is a doctor whose name is Armando Hasudungan who is seeking to make it more accessible through medical illustrations. What are medical illustrations? Well, we're going to try to find out as he is joining us this morning all the way from Sydney to talk more about his efforts. Good morning, Doc. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
Indeed, glad to have you. So tell us a little bit about what are medical illustrations and when did you start having this idea to create these medical illustrations?
Yeah, I think it all started accidentally, really. I've always enjoyed illustrations personally. I guess to better explain what medical illustrations are, I'll tell you guys about how I started. Basically, during high school, I wasn't really a science student. I didn't really do much biochemistry or physics. And so after high school, when I started to do some science, I really struggled a lot. Because at high school, I was more of an artsy student. I like drawing, I like music, I like all those artsy things. And so when I went to university to do medicine, science and medicine, I really had to rely on illustrations and images to help me understand concepts. And so I think I fell into medical illustrations that way because I was attracted to how easy it was to understand concepts through visual aids. Yeah.
Right, that makes a lot of sense because I'm actually a little distracted because we're looking at some of them right now.
Yeah.
So they're not just drawings, but they're actually live illustrations.
Yeah.
So as you're learning, you're seeing like arrows point to a specific part and then the names being drawn out. So that is part of the learning process, as opposed to seeing one picture with all these labels on it and then you have to try to kind of memorize each one. Now I see what you're saying.
Yes, very challenging. Now, I wish I had this available to me when I was in high school, attempting to go and do my biology APs and things like that. But as you've mentioned before, this was one of the ways that you've learned for yourself, because obviously not everybody has the same learning capability of just seeing and memorizing. But now that you've made so many, do you remember the first illustration that you created that really helped you, for yourself or perhaps for your viewers and your audience? And how long does it usually take you to make these medical illustrations?
Yeah, so I guess going back to the story, when I went to university for sciences, I basically, whenever I studied, would try to draw the anatomy to sort of help me remember the concepts, and the structures, and also draw diagrams to understand the physiology of the body. But when I first really started was when I had to do a presentation in pharmacy, a course in pharmacy, and what I did was I did one of my first ever video in that pharmacy course, and it was me drawing on a whiteboard while recording myself.
Okay.
And then I would present this as a presentation, and it was about a drug. But what I really found helpful was by doing this presentation, by doing the drawing on the whiteboard, editing the video and narrating, I found that really helpful. Like there was many modes of learning: listening, tactile, and editing. And so I found it very helpful for myself. And so I uploaded it onto YouTube accidentally, and people loved it because back then there wasn't that many videos, educational medical videos on YouTube. And so I continued to do that. And I found that people enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. How long does it take me? I guess, I've become more of a perfectionist. I really want to try to make good quality content. So it ranges and it depends on the topic. But roughly, I think about 8 to 10 hours nonstop.
Oh,
wow.
That's from draft to completion. Yeah.
Okay, so can you, let's break it down a little further and maybe you can get a little bit technical on us here. What is the process like itself? I mean, it looks as if you are actually hand drawing all of these illustrations yourself, and then you're labeling it. What sort of, I guess it's software, or what sort of equipment do you use, and what is the process like from start to finish?
So, it's all a secret. Otherwise, everyone would. Nah, I'm just joking.
Good one.
I'm just joking. So, I guess from the beginning, back about the first 7 years of me doing this, or 5 years of me doing this, I was recording my own hand drawing on a piece of paper. So the camera was recording my hand drawing, and then I would edit that video, the video. But now, over the past few years, I've shifted to tablet drawing.
Yeah.
So digital tablet drawing. So what you see now on the screen, that is me drawing a digital tablet and recording the screen. So I'm still drawing everything, but I'm just drawing it on a digital tablet. And so the process now is that I would create a topic or something I want to talk about, create a rough script, notes, and rough images I would use, and then basically record the screen while drawing the images out as you see on the screen, and record it, and then edit that video. So there'll be a lot of mistakes, there'll be a lot of pauses, so I'll edit it, make sure that it's clean, and then I will narrate over it and then edit it further. So there's a bit of a step-by-step process.
Yeah, so I guess thanks to technology, basically it's pretty much the same process minus your hand in the video.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say you
exactly.
have very clear handwriting.
I was going to say, if that was me doing it, you couldn't read a single thing that I wrote up there.
No, it's just because because usually, you know, the stereotypes, doctors would have like one line as handwriting.
Try to read a prescription.
But you know what? Amazing. You have very beautiful handwriting, and it's like, it looks like a font out of, or maybe you do use font, but you can tell the difference when it's actually handwriting when it's not. But Dr. Armando, you've created so many hand-drawn video tutorials on a range of subjects, you know, from the basic of anatomy and physiology to the more complex biochemistry and immunology. How did you learn about them all in such a short amount of time to deliver them to your audience? I mean, like, how did you manage to choose and cover so much topic in just this small amount of time of the video?
Yeah, so look, I would have to be honest, you know, there's always some mistakes. No one can be perfect because all this video, all this content that I've created, it's all myself. So there's no specialist that could really proof check my things, but everything I do, I use credible resources, online, textbooks, everything is credible. I guess how I do the videos, I'm very fortunate because I've started creating these videos from when I started learning the topics. And so majority of the videos I've done are topics that I am revising or I'm currently learning. And it's just a way to help me memorize and understand the topic better. And so by doing so, you know, it turns out to be a product like a video, and then I upload it, and then hopefully it would help someone else. And as it turns out, people find it helpful. People find illustrations helpful because we're sort of on that journey together, studying together.
So Doc, why did you choose to do this? I mean, so many people out there are learning about medicine and for their own selves, for their own betterment. Why did you decide to spend up to 8 to 10 hours on each of these topics and decide to share them with the world?
That's a very good question. I think I have to put it down simply is that I really enjoy creativity. I really enjoy drawing. From a young age, growing up in Bogor, in Sabah, my dad would always give me painting, paintings to do with my sister on the weekend. And so I think I've always had that creative sort of spark in me. And so doing this was sort of feeding that creativity that I really wanted. And so I enjoy also teaching, you know, and by doing it with illustration, I think, I'm feeding that interest of mine. And also, you know, knowing that it helps people online and getting that feedback is really motivating.
Very selfless of you.
I would love to copy your notes, but then again, your notes are like available online.
Exactly.
No, because to me, it's just amazing. Not just the fact that you know your strength, which is you can't just look at a picture and memorize it, and you found a very good way for yourself to learn. And I think that's such a great, inspiration, not just to so many people, and to really help, because those are some complicated subjects that you're covering, and it's great to see. I mean, it's not everybody, it's not every day you see a doctor who can draw like that.
Yeah.
Has very clear, very clear handwriting, and it's just proves that there is no one person that is a stereotype, and I think that's great. So this is one last question. I know that this is something that you like doing, that you've been doing for a very long time, even for yourself, and now that the audience has access to it as well. Are there any challenges you face in preparing and creating new content? You have mentioned that you've become sort of a perfectionist along the way, but what's usually the biggest roadblock for you? Is it, what topic should I choose next? Or do you plan to choose just every single topic when it comes to biology and medicine?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge, aside from being the perfectionist I talked about, well, it's sort of part of it. When I create a video, when I create illustrations, and I've spent hours on it, and then I realize, oh, this could be better, or I should have done this instead. I think that's the biggest challenge, and having to let go of that, or maybe having to redo it sometimes. I find that difficult because it's sort of, having to repeat things again and again and having to go back is a bit cumbersome and can get annoying. So I find that a big challenge personally.
Right, Doc, so obviously you've done this for years now, and you must have gotten plenty of feedback from people out there. Could you share with us what are some of the reactions, or what are some of the positive reactions, or perhaps feedback or comments that you've gotten for your work, contributing all of this education to people out there?
Look, I mean, I think the best feedback is, on YouTube comments when people say, thank you so much for this video. It's helped me study for exams, or, thank you for the videos. It's helped me pass exams. So all these sort of positive feedbacks, hearing people say how much help, how much help it has been to them, that's really inspiring and motivating for me. So
yeah. Do you have any? Do any people, any of the commenters, perhaps request any subjects that you haven't done yet? Some topics that you haven't covered?
Always, always. They always do. And actually, funnily enough, I had an email this morning, and I think it was someone from, I'm not sure which country, but they basically gave me their university curriculum and said, please make videos on all these topics. And I'm thinking, it's not that easy.
Yeah,
I would love to. Maybe I'll create my own university. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah, online university. I was just going to ask you my next question. Now that you're a doctor, do you plan on giving back and actually contributing to teaching some more outside of the visual aids that you're already giving to everybody?
Yes. So as part of being a doctor here in Australia, I guess teaching, mentoring other younger doctors or university students, medical students, is part of the job, really. So I really enjoy doing that, whether it's on the wards, seeing patients and whatnot. But I guess outside of that, I have done talks and presentations and lectures on certain topics at universities now and again, but nothing full time. So I would be very open to doing that, whether it's part-time, maybe in the future, being tied up with the university, teaching properly. I think that'd be very fun. And if I'm able to incorporate, a lot of illustrations into it, find a lot of joy in that. Yeah.
Right.
I just wanted to say, do you get fans telling you, or your interns perhaps, who you're mentoring? It's like, I checked out one of your videos that helped me during an exam. Because I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah. Look, I mean, as you probably can see, I don't really show my face on the videos, and I think part of it is because I like to stay a bit behind a wall. What's most important to me is not being recognized, but really being appreciated for the work and the content I've been doing. So some people do find out and they do thank me, and I find that very, it's very nice that they do that, approach me. I really don't know what to say except thank you for watching and supporting. Yeah.
So I'm going to try to show our viewers here. I've got your page open right now. If you guys want to search on YouTube, you can just search Armando Hasudungan. I hope I'm not butchering your name there. And there you can find, obviously, plenty of videos, but you cover such a wide range, not only anatomy, but injuries as well. all different types of signs. I'm seeing some of the older videos with your hand in it as well. But there you go, guys. I mean, if you really want to have a look, and there's members-only content as well. Those you can access if you do decide to join. Almost 2.3 million subscribers so far and counting. So this goes to show not only the success of your channel, but how much you're contributing to help as well. So real quick before we let you go, what are your short-term, I mean long-term goals? Perhaps one day start your own university, but what are some of your short-term goals for your channel and for its growth?
Yeah. So that's a good question. So I guess my short-term goals is that I want to involve more animators and more educators to help me create more content. And I'm very lucky because I've actually worked with a couple of people from overseas, and I'm sort of training them in a way and creating more content. So I hope in the short term to get more people involved to create more content. In the long term, I guess, you know, aside from wanting to become a rheumatologist and practice clinically, I do want to get involved in creating proper courses, I guess.
Right.
Video illustration courses, quizzes for university students. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Nice.
And we certainly hope that you're able to accomplish all of those goals as well. And we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. You're a doctor, you're an illustrator, a content creator. So
No, I'm on holidays right now.
are you?
Oh, amazing.
That's
We
great.
caught you at the right time.
Indeed.
Thank you, Doc.
so much, Doc.
You did,
and we
you
hope
did.
to check in again with you soon.
Thank you so
Good luck
much.
to you. Great stuff. So there
Thank
you go.
you so much for having me, guys.
Yeah.